Yeah, we want all the nominations.
All it
Kim?
does is signals for TV, and it does not pick any voices.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. All board members are present. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any
No comment.
comments?
No comment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Committee reports. Did policy meet?
Yes. We had our policy meeting on November 14th, and we went over a standard review of policies and made updates and changes according to the MSBA, and we also had a group of policies the administration is recommending for elimination that are non-mandatory, not MSBA comparable policies.
And that's all on that. It's all on the summary of that line item in the board docs.
Yes.
So, Kim, most of those policies that we're throwing out, we don't use anymore. They're
Right,
just-
right.
And they were basically put forward by the new Prague board previously, I assume, or how they ever got there?
I'm not sure. I assume some of them have been there for a while.
Yeah, okay.
And some of them don't apply at all anymore,
Right.
so.
Okay,
And
thanks.
there's some of them that we'll have as procedures, but we don't need as policies. They're not required by MSBA. No, I always think, been taught this by several of my mentors who've been superintendents, the larger the policy handbook, probably the worse off we are as a district. And we've got policies we really don't need to have.
Okay, good. Yep.
Southwest Metro.
Southwest Metro had their meeting on the 15th of November. It was a pretty much regular meeting. A couple of the highlights, we had a report on a program called Catalyst, and it is a program that helps students with their behavioral issues and their psychological issues. We also had a report from Darren, our superintendent, who is looking to get a setting 4.5 for students that do have behavioral issues and psychological issues. Currently, there's an area where students have a setting 4, where they go out of the district to some off-site location for their program. And then the other one is a setting 5, and the setting 5 is actually a residential program for students that need really intense care as far as their behavior and their psychological issues. What Darren is looking at is getting approval from the legislature to have a program that would kind of go in between those two, that we would try to coordinate and begin at our Metro Intermediate District. And then finally, we also talked about retreat planning for the board of directors, and also involving the superintendents from the various districts. Things that we would be talking about would include plans for the future, and also how we see our intermediate district growing or not growing. Do we put a limit on the number of districts that we would allow into our district, or would we cap it? So those are some of the things that we might be talking about at our retreat planning. Oh, one other thing too, we did have our first reading for the calendar for the school year 18.
Why would you cap the number of districts? Just
Well,
control?
it becomes rather
Distance?
big and unwieldy, and also, yes, the geographical area also. You want to have it be kind of centered around the main districts that are there right now. And then, if we start allowing other districts from other geographical areas, it becomes a little bit more cumbersome. But, that's to be seen.
How far are we going now, up to Buffalo?
Buffalo is our
the
furthest, that's
okay.
correct. And then on the south, it would be Tri-City.
Thank you. Do you meet with CPAC?
CPAC will not have a meeting until December, I believe.
Community Ed.
Few items. First of all, Veterans Day was very well attended by the kids, and they participated very well, the ones I went to. And there were about 15 veterans also participating, which was up quite a bit. Last Friday was the Black Friday dance in the vendors from 6:30 to 9:30 in the ballroom, and it was well attended. The two groups, or small groups, very small groups of high school students that participated did a very good job. The community ed brochure for the winter will be delivered, I believe, to school on December 1st, and so it should be sent out to the homes soon after that. New parade, December 2nd, parade of lights and celebration in the park at 6 o'clock. December 3rd, Christmas tree lighting in Elko, New Market. December 9th, I believe it is, annual ladies' night in Elko, New Market. And the next meeting is January 5th. Also, I passed out these brochures or sheets, and the community ed wants to reach out and make sure they're serving everybody, and also doing the useful stuff that is expected of them. And a lot of these were suggestions from people, and we certainly aren't going to limit to this. They want to use the Aquatic Center and the rooms there as much as possible, and obviously they'll be close to that area, and so whatever classes they have will be close to there, and they want to do their part on keeping it busy and filled.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have those extra big rooms over there next to
Hopefully.
the gym.
Thanks, Don, for that report. Thank you for the report.
You're welcome.
Wellness Committee.
They did not meet since our last meeting.
Okay. Did early childhood?
Early childhood met when our last board meeting, or board workshop was, so I wasn't able to attend, and I haven't gotten any minutes yet for that
All right,
meeting.
thank you. Next, we have the superintendent reports.
Yeah, just first off, start off by saying the musical, the past 2 weekends, the Music Man, it was a great event put on by Ben Tigi and his staff and all the students. It was a lot of talent, and it was just a fun musical, so congratulations to them. Another thing, calendar, we're going to put the proposed calendar on the website and also social media, just make sure we get feedback, everyone can see it. Probably be making for recommendation at our December 12th meeting. Like I've told you before, at all 3 elementary buildings, I got middle school next week and then the high school too. I've gotten feedback from staff and very positive on the proposed calendar, keeping it the same way we had this year due to construction. So, but we'll get that out. Last week, Wednesday, I was in the pool of the Aquatic Center, actually in the pool, concrete, it's all concrete and everything, and took a picture that I'll send out tomorrow. It is, I was in the deep end. Well, there's no water yet, but there was a leak in the roof, so it could get filled up. But it's just amazing right now. I'll send that picture out. It's pretty neat, though. In the deep end, I think it's 12.5 feet, and yeah, it's coming along great. All the, Brad Greger's going to talk about the middle school transition. He'll talk a little bit about that too, but everything's going very well. Reminder, we're going to have school board get a tour of the CAC and middle school, 5 o'clock. we'll be meeting on December 12th before our board meeting here, so make sure we're prompt on that. And then a lot of events. If you look at the high school events calendar too, a lot of sporting events going on this week. We're getting going here, all of our sports, so kids appreciate your support, and that goes for everyone. So I also want to mention too, make sure, and this was a policy that's going to be turned into procedure too, but senior citizens get in free at home athletic events. So spread the word on that, and we'll make sure everyone knows that. And I know I've asked Brad Skogerbo to get the word out on the website and also social media for that. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next, we're going to have an update on the sixth grade transition to the middle school.
Yeah,
Brad Greger?
Right. I've asked Brad Greger, our middle school principal, to come in and also talk about a few other things going on. Just update on what's going on at the middle school so far this year.
All right, thank you. I think I'll start off with our highlights for the year. As you know, we've been living construction on a daily basis, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But a lot of great things going on in our school. As you know, academically, a great highlight for our school was we were recognized with our MMR scores. We were the third highest middle school in the state based upon our reading and math scores. So that was something for us to celebrate with our students, our staff, and our community. We recently had, for the first time, I believe, 8 students that were selected for the National Honor Choir. We've had students selected for the State Honor Choir, and we had students again for that, but that was quite an honor for our students too. I guess the big thing for us at our school is, we have a great focus on learning, but we also have a great focus in the other areas and meeting the students, their social, emotional needs as well, but also it's great to see the kids excelling in the fine arts too, whether it's through our band concert that we recently had or through our honor choirs, auditioning for those. And then, of course, we have our musical coming up here, beginning practice here in January with the Singing in the Ring in Junior. So kids get a great experience. We also had some other highlights for us this year too. Have been we had our Proud Junior group, and our student council was able to attend We Day, and so they brought back some ideas that we could incorporate in our school. So in October we had an anti-bullying week. We just finished up a mix-it-up day at lunch too, so that was a nice thing to bring back from there as well. Our students are also, with the We Day, they always focus on 2 different community involvement groups. So one thing they're going to be doing for December will be our Christmas for the troops. So we'll be participating in that. So we'll be collecting different types of items for our military to be sent over to our troops, whether it's snacks or whether it's personal care items or things like that too. So we're working on that right now. And then they're deciding what they want to do for our global awareness, and we're kind of working on that too. That'll come up probably later in January. So Tim also asked me to talk about some of the challenges that we've had this year. I guess one of the biggest challenges we've had has been the construction itself. Just making sure that learning continues. And a matter of fact, today, the biggest challenge has been probably the noise. And so today I got a call from a teacher, and she said this was over at the CEC building. It was very noisy there. So, she called me right away. We've had this before. So what I do is I call Steve Zobek, who's the construction superintendent. I get him on the phone. He answers my calls. He must have caller ID or something, see my name. But anyways, so he goes, checks it out. For example, the teacher told me that they have some tests tomorrow going on in her classes, so I want to make sure, I communicate with that with Steve. And they just do a great job in making sure that, we have that quiet learning environment. And that's probably the biggest challenge. We've had a number of those, but that's how we handle those. And those guys are very professional to work with. I can't say enough about Metcon and being able to work with their staff and how professional they've been. I've had comments from my own staff about their professionalism, and I've witnessed it as well too. They've been super to work with. So kudos to them. Our transition right now, it's really hard to believe that we're getting this close and it's becoming a reality here. So we're scheduled to, obviously have our sixth graders move over during the break. It looks like the moving company is going to move, the teachers' items, their desks, their personal belongings over on December 27th, as I was told today. It looks like our office has been kind of pushed back a little bit, which is fine. They're talking in January sometime, but I've met with the sixth grade staff, kind of went over, what my expectations are for packing up. There'll be some time that we spent outside of the regular school hours to pack up. They'll be labeling their boxes, their personal items, their furniture to be moved, and that'll get moved over the break, and then they'll be spending some time unpacking their boxes and setting their rooms up over the holiday break. So when we come back, I think on January 3rd, the students will be ready to roll with their items. Students are going to have to take home their books and their belongings, and we won't have occupancy for them to go over there early to put that thing in their lockers, but everyone's been really flexible with that. I have another meeting coming up with our sixth grade staff to kind of finalize things this week. So if you had a chance to be in our building or not, it's changed a great deal. We've been able also to give some tours to the sixth grade staff, but any other staff member that's wanted to see what the new wing looks like. It's taken great shape, and you can see the classrooms and where everything is going to be. And I also have a meeting with Innovative Furniture coming up here too, with the planning of some of the new furniture that's been ordered for some of the classrooms and also for the resource areas too. So a lot of exciting things are going on. It'll be nice to have this phase done, and then we can move on to the next phase and the next phase. So, yes, Don.
Mr. Greger, are they going to have the lockers in their own section?
Yeah, so what they're going to do is each of the resource areas, when you go in there for a tour, I think you guys, Tim says you're going on a tour here soon, it'll be in there, the lockers will be all in their resource areas in a section of that. So there'll be 3 different sets of lockers, and those will be in there kind of off of their resource area. So they won't have to go very far to, drop their things off and, get them in between classes.
So there'll be no need for them to cross over to the CEC anymore until the swimming pool is done, correct?
That would be correct. And I think we may use the gym. The gym won't be done till January, so we may use the gym a little bit. For sure we're going to use it until our new auxiliary gym is done, but basically, there won't be a transition.
The only time we'd be over there, physical education would be the only.
Yeah, and the pool too. So, any other questions?
It's been 9.5 years at the CEC. That's what it's been for sixth grade over there. So
My son, who's a junior in college, his class was the first sixth grade class that had to do the transitioning.
So.
And he seems to be doing okay. But it's time to it's time. It's time.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
Yeah, I think we've done a great job in making what we had work the last 10 years, and it'll be nice to have all of our staff and all of our students in the same building for the first time again in I think 14 years, 13 years, no 10 years. I can't remember.
9.5.
I don't know. This is what happens when you get older. I don't know.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brad.
thank you.
Next, Lonnie is going to talk about new high school class offerings.
Well, we don't have all that construction going on, so I appreciate that. We've gone through that before, so I'm okay with that. Tim had asked about some things, again, highlights, challenges. I think probably as we came back, one of the highlights for us was we got our graduating class of 2016 ACT results, and for the first time in my 11 years here, we were actually over the state average for a composite. We have been at the state average twice, but this was the first year. Our average was 21.9 for a composite, and the state average was 21.1. And so it wasn't quite a full point over, which was kind of our goal. But still, to get over the state average finally was kind of something to celebrate as we came back. Some other things that we're doing this year, we've got the Integrated Learning Program, which is an off-site program. And we've got our first class going right now, the Business in a Global Society. And about 2 weeks ago, Tony Boothie and I went in and did a mid-semester survey with the kids. We've been getting some feedback, and 90 to 95% of the feedback was very positive. Kids were enjoying it, but we just wanted to have some conversation with them. And again, the feedback that we received has been very positive. They feel, and if you talk to people, the kids walk in and they act like they're 5 years older because they're the gentlemen. Most of them are in a tie and a collared shirt, or at least minimum a collared shirt. Just the professional attire that they come in, the conversations and the discussions they're having. Parent feedback that we've gotten has been very positive. And so that class is going well. We started with 32 originally registered. It ended up being 28. Mentors have been wonderful to work with. We had no problem getting those. And we will be starting our second class at the beginning of the second semester, the Healthcare and Sports Science. And Jeff Decker and Allison Olson will be leading that. And they're both very excited to get going with that. The relationship that we've had with our off-site campus has been very good. And hope to continue that relationship as we'd like to continue to maybe grow the program. We've started having some discussions. Our registration is 2 months down the line, so we really do need to kind of have a plan. But we have started talking about potentially another class, and we're trying to get some student feedback as to what do they see as something. Out of the 28 that are in there, 14 of them are juniors. And there's been discussion about, well, now I have to go back to the high school to a traditional setting of 7 classes for the second semester. So they've been asking about what are we looking at for next year. And some of them have talked about taking the healthcare sports science class. Some have wanted to know, and we're looking at another business class. So very positive. The other probably high-level program that started this year was the college freshman composition class that we have from Normandale. And we looked at that because the CIS College and Schools classes that we get from the U in composition and literature are very restrictive. You have to be in the top 20% of your class to take that. Well, out of 300 kids in a graduating class, you have to be in the top 60. And that made it difficult. And we wanted to provide opportunities for other students to at least start getting college credit. And so we set that up with Normandale, and we got a teacher certified to teach it. This semester right now, we have 1 section of that class going. Next semester, we will have 2. And so I guess I look at that. We have provided an opportunity for 68 kids to now at least have their college freshman composition class out of the way by the time they leave. And the difference is the Normandale restrict, or the level to get in is you have to be in your top 50% of your class. That just opened it up to a whole bunch of kids. The other piece that I believe that helped is the number of PSEO students that were leaving our building last year was approximately 66, either full-time or part-time. This year we are running at 47. And I don't know if Sandy can verify it, but I believe the first bill that we got from Normandale for our PSEO students attending there in the agreement that we have with them was $35,000 less than last year, I believe. So if we can double that on the second semester, feel good about that. And I think it was intentional. I had asked Normandale what was the most popular class our kids take. Freshman composition, college algebra. Well, if we offer that here, then we can get that. which kind of leads to planning for next year, and that is one of our classes that we are looking at trying to offer is college algebra next year. Right now in math, the only thing that we offer for college level is AP, which students will take, but that is not guaranteed college credit because you have to score a 3 or higher. And so we are working with Southwest out of Marshall to see if we can offer a college algebra, which I think would be a good move for our students to have. A couple other positives, I think our Veterans Day program, which is always a positive, went very well. We had a lot of positive feedback from our veterans that attended. We had 2 student speakers that gave excellent speeches. This year, we've kind of gotten to this point where we alternate. We'll bring in a guest speaker one year, and then the other year we'll try to have more students involved. And this year we had 2 student speakers and did very well. We had a food drive where we donated 1,999 pounds to the food shelf, just a pound short of 2,000 pounds of food that was donated to the food shelf, so that was a positive. We've learned, we talked about flexible learning. Well, we've learned to be flexible. We're happy to have the business department or the business office people in the upper level of the high school now.
They do a good job supervising the hallways.
Well, rumor has it they like it so much and they're not coming back to the meetings, but maybe that's just a rumor. We've got some 3- and 4-year-olds in the building now with the early childhood special education down on the other end. So we've got a little bit of everything going. But
I heard they're having trouble adjusting the 7-period day.
So it has gone well. I think being flexible, we've learned to adapt. Some of the challenges that we probably faced is we've had a couple of staffing situations, medical situations, that getting those filled and doing the best we can. But when you lose a science teacher for a period of time, you can't just pull a science teacher out of nowhere and provide that. And so we have been working on it. Now we actually do have a couple of retired science teachers that are splitting the days. I don't know if that's going to help the mental health cases up at the high school or hurt it. I'm not sure. But I think it will help at least support the learning that's going on there. As Brad talked about the aquatics, we're looking at how do we develop classes. It's a good problem to have, but developing classes for our PE to use that. Denny had talked about mental health. It's still an ongoing thing, I think, across the board. And is it mental health? Is it chemical health? Which causes which? And we're still dealing with that. But I will say the resources that we put in place definitely help what we're trying to do for our students. The mental health therapists that we have, the chemical health specialists that we have, it just helps the cause. But it's an ongoing thing, and it doesn't matter who you talk to. Any principal you talk to will tell you that is probably one of the biggest issues they're facing in their high schools right now is the mental health that they have. But like I said, the resources have definitely helped us too. So, questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lee.
Are you doing the
I am.
update on the chart
Yeah,
abatement?
update on the chart abatement. Well, as you know, Scott County has decided not to do any clawback with the chart abatement. Right now, we're in wait mode to see what the city's doing. We've been in discussions with them right now, and they're getting opinion from their city attorney, and then they'll be making decisions. So my recommendation is that we just wait to see what the city does, get the opinion from their attorney what to do before we act on that right now.
And we're not under any time
Nope,
restriction?
that I know of, don't.
Do you have any idea what options would be? Is one to just totally drop it, or
One would be to drop it,
we could continue it too, correct?
right, or you could, claw back the money that was owed.
Okay. You
Oh, we can't continue it,
okay,
but to do, either just move on
without it.
or
Okay.
to get money back that was owed. basically. But yeah, the tax, it is over with because they didn't meet the requirements for the
Okay,
number of
so-
jobs.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, next we need to approve the deed restriction for where we're going to be building new tennis courts.
Right, the city has requested that we have our attorney draft up a restriction on the deed for the old ice arena or hockey rink. And so that has been attached in board docs and just need the board to approve that. And Kitten will sign it tonight and then we'll file it with Scott County. And that is the next step in the process of switching that land from the tennis courts from the bus garage to the old ice rink area.
I guess, to clarify, some of that is New Prague city property that we're taking care of on these new tennis courts, correct?
Actually, the deed is just for the property that we own.
Just for the property?
Yep, we did a swap, just the property
Okay.
we own. We will need action on that.
You had a resolution.
Okay, I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve the deed restriction.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ken.
Any further comment?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. The early retirement incentive request.
Yep. On this one, we have a request from Judy Carlson, elementary teacher from Eagleview, that I sent you. And like I wrote to you, my recommendation is to approve this as a unique situation due to her husband's health situation right now. She would love to teach for the next 4 years. She's been a very dedicated and wonderful employee for New Prague schools over the years. I think she's been with us, if you count being working with MRVSEC, 29 years. So it's a tough situation for her and her family. And like I said, I think this is unique. It's not any type of precedent setting, but I think when we talk about doing the New Prague way, following the golden rule, I think this is the way we should act.
And like you said, it's not precedent setting, and it's been discussed with the union.
Yep.
And it ultimately ends up saving the
Finan-
district money and providing health insurance,
Yep.
even when we add that in.
Yep. So, yeah, financially, I mean, that's not the reason to do it, but financially, we will obviously be saving money, if anything.
I'll make a motion to approve the early retirement incentive request.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Last on our list, the superintendent evaluation. Sherry and I met with Tim earlier to go over the results from the evaluation. We had 11 administrative staff, his direct reports, as well as the 7 board members fill out a survey with questions on the performance from the year. It was a very positive review. Everyone is very satisfied with the results of his job performance. So it was a kind of questions on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 was very much agree with the statement, and his average scores were 4.7 from the administrative staff and 4.6 for the board. There's a document attached to board docs that has some of the summaries in there. One of the highest scoring comments in the survey: provides leadership for the school district's education programs, staff development programs, and curriculum development to provide the best possible learning environment for students. The average on that was 4.91 out of 5. He is enthusiastic and positive. That was 4.81 out of 5. And the question on overseeing all financial operations that the school district, the average was just above 4. Agree was 4, strongly agree was 5, so he's doing a good job. One of the comments on the survey was Tim is improving in his understanding of the budget, and his strength is realizing what he doesn't understand fully and handing it off to someone who does, and then very strongly supporting the individual. We are very lucky to have Sandy Lynn, who understands numbers upside down and forwards and backwards. And she does a good job of explaining everything and making it very clear to Tim what his options are and different approaches to take with the financial decisions he has to make. Another comment from his staff, Tim is very clear in his expectations of doing the right thing and following the golden rule. His modeling of these concepts makes our jobs as administrators easier to hold others accountable. I think he's doing a really good job, and he models what he believes very well to his staff and to the students, and it's very clear what his expectations are for everyone, and that makes it very easy to know what the right thing is to do. And I think the board all enjoys working with him, and his staff enjoys working for him because they have the flexibility to do their job without being micromanaged, but they still feel very much supported by Tim in doing their job. I don't know if anyone else has any other comments they'd like to add to the review process.
I think the survey really speaks well for the work that we all feel that Tim does, and I think we're very, very satisfied and very pleased with the work that he's doing for our district.
Yeah, Tim, we'd really like to thank you for all you've been doing for the district. He still hasn't slowed down. He's still just as positive as he was when we interviewed him, and I think that's great to see.
Yeah, I think we're all very comfortable working with him, too. It's real easy, makes it easy for us.
All right.
I just want to make a comment. I just want to thank the board and our entire staff, administrative team, and all the entire staff in our district. I'm blessed to be in a wonderful school district. Principal for 10 years and loved every minute of it. And actually, I even like this job even more. Going, middle of the fourth year now. But like I said on opening days, we have a school board that gets it, that knows what's best for students and supports the staff, supports me. And, I wouldn't do this job if I, had a school board that wasn't supportive or tried to micromanage or anything like that. You guys have been wonderful supporters of New Prague education system here. So thank you.
Thank you. Get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.